And you're gonna get yourself a second tip of the day because we just screwed this up. So I got Jackson back here again, and what he is creating is a putter head, a wooden putter head. And he's gonna create a hole right here, and we're gonna cut this putter out in a minute. In order to cut this hole, we've got a 1.5 inch Forstner bit set up on the drill press, and holding this and drilling it might be a little bit of a challenge. So what we're going to do is we're gonna clamp it, but we tried to clamp it like this to the table, but the clamp doesn't reach. So what we're going to do is we're going to put this clamp, excuse me for 1 second, we're gonna put this clamp on this piece, and we're gonna clamp that just like that. So we've got a good hold on his workpiece, and it's, you know, it's flush on the bottom, so it's gonna sit flush on the table. Then once we get it lined up, we're gonna take another clamp. Now we can clamp the clamp down to the table. So let's get this lined up. I'm gonna use your eyes. You can line it up so that that point, you can bring it down close, and that point can be right on there.
That looks pretty good.
Let me get this. And now nothing's going to move. And on this particular drill press that we have here, we have a little menu, okay? So if we click on the menu, you'll see that it shows the bits. We're gonna click on the bit. We're gonna choose the type of bit that we're using. We're using a Forstner bit, and it's 1.5 inches. So we select that, and we're drilling into hardwood. So you can see the speeds. If you're drilling in the softwood, would be 500 RPM. Now this would be 250, so it's gonna go a little slower. And then you hit confirm, and it sets the speed automatically, which is pretty nice. All right, Jackson, you just hit on, and you're gonna slowly go down through. Grab the next one.
How far down should I go?
You're gonna go as far as you can go. I've got it set so that it'll go all the way through, but not much further than the other side. Nice sharp bit. The shavings are beautiful.
That's as far as it'll go.
Okay. Let's see. Did I get it all the way through? I don't think I did, actually. I did not. So this collar here sets the height. We're gonna bring that up a hair more. He's gonna go a little further. You should see the MDF through the hole. And I didn't see any MDF. This is MDF that we are on top of this spoil board. There you go, you heard it go through that time. And let's go a hair more, and that should be good. Go ahead, make sure we get it clean on the other side. The other part of this is we have a board on the table here that is supporting the wood fiber on the other side of this putter head. So if we take this off and we look at the back side should be pretty clean. Not bad. You can see. Fairly clean. Could have been a little bit better actually, but we did have it backed up right there. Anyway, this is one way that you can clamp things down to your table on the drill press, and that's your tip of the day. And you're gonna get yourself a second tip of the day because we just screwed this up. We cut a 1.5 inch hole when it's supposed to be 2 inches. It's supposed to reach out to those two lines. It does not. It was supposed to be a 2 inch Forstner bit. We use 1.5 inch Forstner bit. Now we have a predicament because the Forstner bit uses a center point to guide it. And we no longer have a center point spot, right? That wood has been taken away. However, if you're using a drill press and you clamp the piece down, we shouldn't have any kind of an issue. But what if you didn't have a drill press? How could you do it? You could clamp a piece over the top of this, you know, make sure that you have this, you know where the center is of the hole, and measure in, and then have another piece on the top and start drilling through the first piece, and that will help guide it down into the second piece. Once you get it started, it's gonna stay in its spot, but the beginning of it is the tough part. So as long as you have a guide. So what you could do is you could drill a hole through another piece, clamp the piece right over the top of this so that you're right in the center of it, clamp that piece down after it's already drilled even, and then use that as your guide, and then continue your hole through, if that makes sense. We're gonna use the drill press today, so check it out. So we're gonna get it back on here, lined up, and clamped down to begin with. So you're gonna lower that down, because we want it to be exactly in the same spot. First, we'll put the clamp back on. Second, he's gonna lower that down into the hole. So we line it back up perfectly. We'll clamp this back down. Now he'll raise it up, and we'll change out that bit to a 2-inch bit. So now we are all set. We've got the 2-inch bit in, everything's lined up. He's gonna go ahead and create that second hole. Nice and easy, go nice and easy. I'm gonna put one more clamp over here and try and get this clamp down to the spoil board really tight so that we can avoid that chip out that we got on the first cut. You can see just in a minute what the back side of this looks like. Maybe we get a cleaner cut. Nice and easy, nice and easy. All the way through, good. Let's see what the back side of this looks like. Hopefully it looks a little cleaner than it did the first time. Take a look. How's the back side look? Any cleaner? Yeah. That is not chipped right there. Is it? It is still chipped
Yeah, a little bit.
on that side. We might not include that in the video, but maybe we will. And that is your second tip of the day.